Two homes hit in an area that did not have hydrants. Good evening, I'm Ann Nyberg.
I'm Darren Kramer. Those fires a week apart, both happening in a rural town where people rely on well water. In fact, a lot of Connecticut towns don't have those hydrants, and that can be a recipe for disaster. News 8 has your back tonight with what you can do to help save your house if you're faced with that kind of fire. News 8's Bob Wilson has more. Bob?
And Darren, firefighters always say you can try to save your house, but the bottom line is you got to save your family and get out of there first. But it is a unique way of living, especially if you don't have a hydrant just up the street.
Get to live used to living without hydrants.
Lori Opalis understands what it's like to live out of reach of water. She knew about the fire this morning in Oxford, a house where firefighters had to bring their own water to put out the blaze. That house was destroyed, and so was another home less than 1 week ago.
I mean, we have the retention ponds around the neighborhood, but as you can see, they don't do enough because you can't. It's not the same as a fire hydrant. It is kind of frightening.
For Lori, fire safety isn't something she practices, they live. Her husband is a firefighter, and they know you only get one shot at stopping a fire.
Make sure there's nothing in front of the radiators. You don't leave nothing running on the stove. You don't leave electrical running. No dryers running when you're not home.
As firefighters check their gear before they start each shift, they recommend that you do the same. Lori knows her first line of defense is the smoke detector, followed by a fire extinguisher.
The pin has to come out. You always have to make sure that it's got plenty of pressure in it because sometimes it can sit there and lose pressure and you don't know it and you go to grab it and use it and it's not good.
Firefighters say it's not just enough to have a fire extinguisher, but you have to have the right one in the kitchen. You also have to know how to use it. Here in West Hartford, they teach a thing called pass. You pull the pin, you aim it at the base of the fire, you squeeze the trigger, and then you sweep back and forth. And firefighters say, here in West Hartford, they even have an open house once a year where you can come and train with a working fire.
We actually have a prop that we use that has fire in it, and we'll have people come in and we'll dress them up in bunker gear and we'll give them a fire extinguisher and let them try a fire extinguisher out to see what it's like to actually put a fire out.
In West Hartford, Chief Sokolowski says always call 911 first. And if there is time, you can try to get the fire out, but the most important thing is to have an evacuation plan and use it.
Actually practice the drill from time to time. Have a place to meet outside of the building so that you know when people get out, you know where they are.
Now, we want to be absolutely clear. We want to make sure that you understand that those houses in Oxford, we don't know what would have been the outcome with hydrants. We will tell you that you can protect yourself and take these precautions. It will help, especially give you a head start to getting out of the house. I'm Bob Wilson, reporting live in Hartford, News 8.